Here's my next project. I got this light from my kids for Christmas to hang in my bar area here. And you can see this switch up here just kind of hanging there. What I want to do is build a frame and bury this switch, or at least hide it somehow in the frame. And, you know, at least clean that part of it up a little bit. Okay, after much hemming and hawing, I came up with this idea to frame that bar light. The old pictures, photo albums, they used to have these corner holders that held the pictures, and then they just were, I don't know if they glued them to the page or if they had adhesive on the back or whatever. You can see that image right there. That kind of shows you how they used to work. So anyway, that was my idea, was to come up with some kind of a corner holder and then use it inside of a frame to hide the cord and still let that light come off the edges like it did when you saw it in the original video there, or the first part of the video I should say. So I made a couple prototypes here. Let me show you what I did. This is my corner holder. You can see that it's nothing more than a block of wood cut at a 45-degree angle. And the species is not that important because what I'm going to do is paint these black so that they'll look like a different part of the, like a picture holder, I guess, an old-time picture holder. So then the other thing that I made was kind of out of a piece of scrap wood, was a prototype of the top, this top piece that's going to hold the switch and let the cord run through the top of it and be hidden. So I mortised out this area, dropped the switch in there, put a saw kerf in it. I won't be able to go, it'll have to be a stopped saw kerf, but it worked out fantastic. Just the top of the switch is visible now, so that you can just go up there and hit it with your thumb. And I really don't have any problem with that, because I don't want to make it completely invisible. Otherwise this kind of gets just too thick and bulky. As it is right now, my original thought was this was going to be 3/4 inch thick by 1.5 inches deep. That was just way too small. So I had to make these 7/8 thick by 1.75 inches, and then account for the half laps. So I've got to make these first because I need to know where my outside corners are going to be so that I can dimension these properly. Alright, I got my stock prepared for the frame pieces, and I ended up making 6 of them, just in case type deal. So there was enough material there to do it. I got them all cut to a rough length, and the width, or the thickness and the width is correct. So those are looking good. Now the other thing I have to do is cut my triangle, my picture holders I'll call them. I did do one little prototype here that I chiseled out the inside, and it turned out pretty good actually, so I think I may end up using this, but there again I'm going to make some extras. So these are all drops from when I did my tabletops. So I'm just going to take, and I'll end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, and let me show you how I'm going to do that. So you can see in my setup here, I've got a board that was also another one of my drops, but I'm using it the other way here as a stop, so that when I bring my piece in, that's where it's going to wind up. Actually what I'll end up doing is I'll rough cut these on my chop saw, get them a little closer to actual length. I don't want to be pushing all that through there. But this one here probably wouldn't be too bad. So I'll put that in like that, make sure it's tight. I'm going to use my eraser and this a piece of threaded rod to hold it in place and then just push it through. But as I get through the blade, I'm going to shut down. I'm not going to push it all the way through. As soon as I finish my cut, I'm going to shut the blade down, and it'll be kind of in no man's land here where it won't be hitting any of the teeth. And then just keep repeating that as I go. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a challenge because of the way I've got this set up. I want to drill, I'll do it this way, I want to drill down this way, but then I want to rotate my block and drill down the opposite direction, or the perpendicular corner. But in order for that to work out, this has to be perfectly centered because I'm switching reference sides. I don't want to rotate it this way and reposition my block. I want this cut out here to be the same distance away on both ends so that I get an accurate measurement once I put the corners on the bar light. So let me just lock this one in here. And incidentally, I ended up with 4 or 5 of one style and 4 of the other. And by that I mean the one style has end grain on both ends here and 45-degree grain there, and the other ones have 45-degree grain on this and end grain on this side. So we're going to see how this works out for me. I'm going to cut one and we'll just take it from there. Alright, just finished drilling out those holes and that worked out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll just clean this up with a chisel, square up the edges, and give it a test fit on the light itself.